High above the world, on the edge of a towering mountain where fierce winds howled endlessly and deep valleys stretched into darkness below, there stood a fragile nest made of twigs and courage. It clung to the rocky cliff as if it were defying gravity itself. In that nest lived a tiny eaglet, small, vulnerable, and still learning about the vast, unforgiving world around it. It had not yet spread its wings, had not yet felt the thrill of flight, and depended entirely on one source of survival, its mother. Every day, the mother eagle would soar into the endless sky, her powerful wings slicing through the wind as she searched for food across distant lands. She was swift, fearless, and tireless. No matter how far she traveled or how harsh the conditions became, she always returned, bringing nourishment, warmth, and safety for her little one. But one day, everything changed. Morning came as usual, with golden sunlight touching the peaks of the mountains. The eaglet waited patiently, its eyes fixed on the sky, expecting to see its mother's familiar silhouette returning with food. Hours passed, the sun climbed higher, then slowly began its descent. Still, there was no sign of her. As evening approached, the temperature dropped, and the winds grew colder. The eaglet began to feel something it had never truly experienced before, fear. Hunger slowly crept in, weakening its tiny body. Its soft feathers trembled under the pressure of the wind. It looked up again and again, hoping, wishing, pleading silently for its mother to return. But she didn't. The first day passed in silence and uncertainty. The eaglet cried out weakly, its small voice carried away by the relentless wind. Night fell, and darkness wrapped the mountain in a cold, unforgiving embrace. Alone and hungry, the little bird curled into itself, trying to preserve what little warmth it had. Then came the second day. By now, the eaglet's strength was fading. Its movements were slower, its eyes duller. The hunger was no longer just discomfort, it was pain. It tried to lift its head, to call out again, but its voice was barely audible. It lay there, fragile and exhausted, as if life itself was slipping away. The sky, once bright and open, began to change. Dark clouds gathered, swallowing the sunlight. A storm was coming. Soon, thunder echoed across the mountains, and rain began to pour. The wind, already strong, became even more violent, shaking the nest and threatening to tear it apart. Raindrops struck the eaglet's tiny body like cold needles. It tried to shield itself, curling deeper into the nest, but it was too weak to resist the storm. It seemed like the end was near. The eaglet's breathing slowed, its eyes closed halfway. The world around it blurred into a mix of rain, wind, and fading hope. In that moment, it felt completely alone, abandoned in a world too harsh for something so small. And then, something changed. Through the chaos of the storm, a shadow appeared in the distant sky. At first, it was faint, barely visible against the dark clouds. But slowly, steadily, it grew larger and clearer. It moved with purpose, cutting through the wind with incredible strength. It was an eagle. It was her. The mother eagle had returned. Battling the storm with unwavering determination, she flew toward the nest. Her wings fought against powerful gusts of wind, her body soaked from the heavy rain. In her talons, she carried food, proof that even in the harshest conditions, she had not forgotten her purpose. She had not given up. She had not abandoned her child. With one final surge of strength, she reached the nest. The moment she landed, everything changed. The eaglet, barely conscious, sensed her presence. Its eyes opened slightly, and for a brief moment, a spark of life returned. It saw her, the one it had been waiting for, the one it had almost given up hope for. The mother eagle wasted no time. She spread her wings wide, shielding her baby from the rain and wind. Her body became a barrier against the storm, offering warmth and protection. Then, gently, she began to feed the eaglet. At first, it struggled to respond. But slowly, instinct took over. It began to eat, small bites at first, then more with each passing moment. With every piece of food, strength started to return. Its breathing became steadier. Its eyes grew brighter. Life was coming back. The storm raged on, but inside that nest, something powerful was happening. Hope was being restored. The mother stayed close, never leaving her child's side. Throughout the night, she kept it warm, protected, and safe. The storm eventually began to weaken, its fury fading as the hours passed. And then, morning arrived. The sun rose once again, casting golden light over the mountains. The sky was clear, the winds gentle. It was as if the world had been given a fresh start. In the nest, the eaglet stirred. It was still weak, but alive, very much alive. It lifted its head and moved its wings slightly, feeling strength slowly returning to its body. It looked at its mother, who sat beside it, watchful and calm. She had made it back. She had endured the storm. She had saved her child. The eaglet, though small and inexperienced, had survived one of the greatest challenges of its young life. And it had learned something far greater than how to fly. It had learned what love truly means. Not the easy kind of love that exists only in comfort and calm, but the powerful, unbreakable kind that fights through storms, defies exhaustion, and refuses to give up, even when everything seems lost. The mother eagle's journey was not just about survival. It was about sacrifice, about determination, about a bond so strong that no distance, no storm, no obstacle could break it. Days passed, and the eaglet continued to grow stronger. With its mother by its side, it began to prepare for the next chapter of its life, the moment it would finally spread its wings and take its first flight. But this time, it would not be afraid. Because deep within its heart, it carried the memory of that storm, and the knowledge that it was never truly alone. This story is more than just a tale of survival in the wild. It is a powerful reminder of something deeply human. A mother's love does not fade with distance. It does not weaken in hardship. It does not disappear in the face of danger. It endures. It fights. It returns. No matter how dark the sky becomes or how strong the storm may be, a mother's love finds its way back. It brings warmth in the coldest moments, strength in the weakest times, and hope when all seems lost. And just like that tiny eaglet on the edge of the world, sometimes all it takes to survive is to hold on, just a little longer. Because love is on its way.